You're listening to Vicky. This is a hypnotic recording to help you gain confidence while you sleep. Please don't listen while driving, operating machinery, or needing to be alert and responsible. This time is for you. A space to settle, to return, to reconnect with something steady within you. A space where nothing is expected, nothing is required, where your system can soften and where change can happen naturally in its own time. And there may have been moments in the past where the voice inside has felt strong, repeating old patterns, shaping how you see yourself, perhaps showing up at the quietest times, or just when you're about to step forward and be brave. That familiar, unwelcome tone, sometimes subtle, sometimes insistent, echoing old doubts, rehearsing the same well-worn thoughts. And you might notice how easily it coloured the way that you thought, the way you felt, and the way you responded in certain situations. As if it has been there for a long time, doing what it learned to do, over and over again. And maybe part of you has listened to it without even realizing just how automatic it had become. And there is also something deeper, quieter, more settled, a part of you that has always been there, gently in the background, present in its own way, even when your attention has been elsewhere. Perhaps it's the voice that comes forward when you're alone. When everything feels fine, and there's space to simply be yourself. Or in those moments when you're doing something you know you're good at, and everything just seems to flow easily, naturally. And for a while that quiet certainty is simply there, steady, unforced, and you may begin to realize that this part of you has been present all along, even when the other voices have taken center stage, because life has a way at times of shaping where attention goes through expectations from others, through moments of criticism or comparison, through experiences where confidence was questioned, and so that quieter part simply stepped back, allowing those other patterns to take the lead for a while it remained there in the background, steady, patient, and even in those moments when fear or apprehension or nerves seem to take control, you may begin to notice that something else is there as well. And while one part of your mind is aware of those feelings, another part of you can begin to recognize something deeper and steadier. That deeper part of you, still present, still aware, holding a quiet knowing of what confidence is and what it feels like. Perhaps as a feeling in your body. A settling, a grounding, a quiet sense of certainty. Because that knowing lives at the core of who you are. Familiar and accessible, something you've already experienced in your own way. Everybody has, you know. And as you begin to notice that, it becomes easier, naturally. Because that quiet strength, the one that's been there all along, to come a little closer now, in a way that's right for you, at a pace that feels natural, whether you notice it clearly or simply begin to sense it. And this is where we begin, by coming back to that. So just now bring your awareness to your body, the weight of you, the shape of you, resting here. Feel the support beneath you, holding you without effort. Notice the temperature of the air around your skin. The gentle rise and fall of your breath, like a soft tide moving in and out. And as you notice that support, your body begins to respond. Muscles softening, jaw releasing, shoulders settling, and breath moving gently in its own rhythm. As your body settles, your mind begins to follow, slowing, softening, drifting inwards. And bring your awareness gently toward the center of your chest, your heart space. Rest your attention there and notice what begins to happen. A gentle, quiet opening, as though something within you recognizes this place, this home within yourself. And as your breathing settles here, each breath creates more space, more ease, more presence. And now you can allow yourself to drift a little deeper, only as deep as feels right for you, guided by something wise within you. Something that knows exactly what you're ready to release. As though you're moving inward through layers of thought, of memory, of experience. Gently, steadily, moving toward that deeper level within you, where patterns have been stored, where beliefs have been formed through moments in your life, through things that were heard, felt, absorbed. And as you arrive in this deeper space, you may begin to notice that you're not inside those patterns in the same way. There's a little more space now. A sense of observing rather than being caught within them. And from this place, with that quieter, steadier part of you present, you can begin to look at things differently, gently, curiously, as though you're seeing them from a new perspective. One that feels calmer, clearer, and more aligned with who you really are. As you become aware of these patterns, you may begin to notice what they are made of. Words, impressions, repeated ideas, familiar in their own way, shaped over time through moments, experiences, meanings that were formed. And as you notice them like this, you may find yourself becoming curious about how they were created, how they came to be repeated, how they became so familiar. And something begins to shift, simply through seeing, through recognizing, through understanding. Because what has been learned over time can begin to change over time. As that understanding begins to settle, those patterns can start to loosen gently, naturally, as though the structure that held them in place is no longer needed in the same way. Softening, unraveling, like mist lifting in morning light, revealing something clearer beneath, something stronger. And as that happens, you may notice a sense of space beginning to open within you. A calm, supportive, expansive space where something new can begin to form in a way that feels right for you. And within that space, as you allow your awareness to rest there, you begin to sense something familiar, a feeling, something that has always been there, quietly present beneath everything else. And as you notice that, you may find your attention naturally drawn toward it, as though one part of you is beginning to reconnect, while another part simply becomes aware. The part of you that existed before expectations, before comparison, before judgment, before criticism, the original you. And you don't need to search for it, because it's already here. And as you begin to recognize it, you can start to feel it again, in whatever way it shows itself to you. Perhaps as a warmth, or a steadiness, or a quiet sense of certainty, growing gently as your awareness rests there. And as you allow that feeling to develop, it becomes easier to reconnect with the way you once moved through the world, with natural trust, reaching, trying, learning again and again and again. And as you notice that, you may begin to realize that this way of being was never something you had to create. It was something you already knew, something your system understands deeply, naturally. And as that understanding settles, you can begin to let that part of you come forward now, easily, comfortably, in a way that feels right. Perhaps noticing how your body responds, how your breathing changes, as something within you begins to align, as that familiar sense of self becomes more present, more accessible. Because that part of you is still here, still available, and already beginning to reconnect now. A gentle awareness beginning to form. And as it does, you may begin to recognize that confidence already exists within you in ways that have always been there. in the way you move, the way you carry out familiar actions, the things you do with ease without needing to think about them. Walking, reaching, preparing something you know well, speaking words that come naturally. As you notice these moments, you may begin to realize that confidence isn't something distant. It's something expressed again and again in everyday ways. And while one part of you observes that, another part of you can begin to gather those experiences, linking them together as evidence of something that has been there all along. And as that recognition settles, it becomes easier to allow that sense of confidence to be acknowledged more fully now as something that belongs to you naturally. Perhaps you can begin to bring your awareness to one of those moments and feel it. Allowing yourself to step into that experience just for a few moments, noticing what begins to happen. And where does confidence live for you? Perhaps in your chest, your breath, your posture, maybe in your mind or your stomach, or somewhere else entirely. As you notice that, you may find that the feeling becomes a little clearer, a little more defined. Notice the quality of confidence, how it can be so steady, so present, so natural. As you stay with that feeling, your awareness resting there, it begins to grow gently, steadily, because whatever you place your attention on can begin to expand in its own way. Spreading through your body, warming and settling, bringing support to your whole system, sense of knowing inside. Really explore what confidence feels like for you. Allow that feeling to become more and more familiar, more a part of you, natural version of who you are. And within that feeling, as your awareness rests there, you may begin to sense a small flame, gentle light within your chest. Quiet glow, steady, warm, alive, as if something within you is awakening in its own way. And as you notice it, you may find that it begins to respond to your breathing, growing with each breath, brighter, like a warm, glowing ember, comforting, steadying your whole system. And as that light continues to grow, it begins to do what it naturally does. To spread, to extend, moving through your chest, into your body, through your awareness. And wherever that light reaches, start to notice some really good, positive feelings. And so each part of you is reconnecting with that strength inside. And you may also begin to notice that this light isn't something separate from you. It is you. Natural expression of that deeper part, now becoming more present with each breath. Lighting more of you from within in a way that soothes and settles and supports your whole system. And as that light continues to expand, your mind can begin to guide it towards the parts of your life where you are growing, where you are stepping forward, where you want to add that confidence. Perhaps noticing how it begins to reach into those moments, gently illuminating them, bringing with it that same strength, that same certainty. And as it settles there, you may begin to sense how naturally it supports you in the way you think, the way you respond, the way you carry yourself. So that stepping forward, being brave, can begin to feel more familiar, more comfortable, more like something you already know how to do. And this can continue quietly and consistently in the background of your experience, supporting you in a way that feels natural and easy. That strength continues to guide you in its own way. From this place, these truths settle deeply within you. They are felt, absorbed, and known at every level. These affirmations are installed even as you continue to listen to these words and think those thoughts and make those changes today. I return to the truth of who I am. I know who I am. I stand firmly in who I am. I am confident. I am strong. I am capable. I am steady. I am grounded. I am resilient, strong, and steady. I am enough. I am connected to my inner strength. Confidence lives within me. A quiet certainty moves through me. My mind is clear. My body is steady. I trust myself. I believe in myself. I trust my abilities to succeed. I trust my ability to handle what comes. I rely on myself. I rely on my own judgment. I know what I am doing. I trust myself completely. I take up space in my own life. I deserve to take up space. I am worthy. I am worthy of respect and recognition. I value myself. My sense of worth is solid within me. I stand firmly in my worth. My voice matters. I treat myself with respect. I can handle what comes. I am capable of doing hard things. I overcome challenges. I have the strength to face anything. I make clear, strong decisions. Confidence flows through my thoughts. I remain centered in myself. I am supported from within. I step forward with confidence. I move forward with certainty. I act with purpose. I take action with confidence. I follow through on what matters to me. I create the life I want. I stand in my strength. I am certain. And as everything settles, that inner light continues to glow, steady, reliable, present. And you may begin to notice how naturally your system responds to that. Your body feeling comfortable, feeling at ease with this new confidence. Your mind soft and spacious, drifting. And even as you rest, confidence continues to grow here, in the background of your experience, integrating and aligning, becoming more a part of you. In a way that continues beyond this moment as your mind and body move into rest. And now, as your body sinks deeper into comfort and your mind becomes quieter, you may find that drifting happens almost by itself. As you move gently into deep, peaceful, restorative sleep. A sleep that continues this process, integrating what you've experienced, strengthening what has already begun, allowing everything to settle in its own way. And as you drift deeper, your breathing soft and steady, your body heavy and supported, your mind can begin to let go more and more. Carried into rest, to renewal, into that quiet, steady truth within you. As you sleep, that confidence remains present, growing and available whenever it is needed. Your mind can rest now. Your body can rest now. And you can settle fully into sleep.